Germany is located in Central Europe, sharing borders with 9 countries. It is the strongest economy and the most populous country in Western Europe. The country can be divided into different parts based on its geographic features that play an important role in its economy. The northern part of the country is a part of the North European plain, while in the south the terrain is mountainous, dominated by mountain ranges including the Alps. The country is also known for its rivers, the Rhine, the Danube, and the Elbe, just to name a few. Many of these rivers lie in the west. Some of these rivers lead up to the North Sea, giving Germany access to the world. Supported by canals such as Dortmund-Ems Canal, these waterways have been able to multiply the economic significance of the states in this part of the country. This is proven by the concentration of urban centers in these regions, with big cities such as Köln, Frankfurt, Düsseldorf, Dortmund, Essen, Duisburg, Bochum, Wuppertal, and Bonn. Cities in this part of Germany have been major cities since the medieval times, with some tracing back their origins to the ancient Romans. After the Industrial Revolution, the demand for coal and steel increased dramatically, and the cities got even richer, turning them into some of the most developed cities in the country that we see today. Despite the change in the economy and the diversification in the sectors, Germany's western states are still some of the major states in the country. These western states are Nordrhein-Westfallen, Hessen, Rheinland-Pfalz, and Saarland. In these states live 35% of all Germany's population, and they contribute 1/3 of all Germany's GDP. However, we cannot talk about Germany's western states without mentioning rivers. Now, before moving further, an explanation on how important it is to have an access to open seas would be necessary. Access to open seas has always been one of the top priorities for countries because it can connect a country to the wider world through a cheaper and more efficient mean, which is by using cargo ship. The economy is that of scale. The categorization of container ship relies on the number of TEU, 20-foot equivalent units, the number of containers, essentially. The smallest of container ships, which are under 3,000 TEU, usually called feeders, can still carry an average between 300 to 1,000 TEU. If we put 1,000 containers on a freight train, the train will either be a very long train or have to take multiple trips. And this comparison doesn't even mention the biggest container ship, such as MSC Coulson, the biggest in the world, carrying over 23,000 containers. Germany's waterway system is not the most complex in the world, but still, the waterway is important to the local economy of these states because the waterway goes inland. Take Nordrhein-Westfallen, for example, in particular Duisburg. Duisburg has the largest inland port in the world with 21 port basins, 8 container terminals, 200 kilometers of drags, and some more other features. 127 million tons of cargo are handled here annually from all of its ports. The port facilities and, more importantly, its strategic location have always put the city on the map. Similarly, the port of Dortmund ranks second after Duisburg. Connected to the Ems through Dortmund-Ems Canal, over 2,000 ships have made their ways to the port each year. The importance of the region where Duisburg and Dortmund are situated is not to be understated. The ports are situated in the middle of Ruhr Valley, the largest urban area in Germany, whose major cities are Dortmund, Essen, and Duisburg, and all of which have over 500,000 inhabitants. Although the economy of the area has diversified from mainly mining and steel production into various industries in various sectors, the region and the states are still economically significant. The state is hosting many foreign companies investing in the region, with recent examples such as $17 million from Adam Opel, a General Motors subsidiary in Bochum, and $60 million from TMD Friction, a brake manufacturer and a subsidiary of Japan-based Nishinbo Group. Furthermore, the state of Nordrhein-Westfalen ranked third in European cities and regions of the future, putting more spotlight to this region. It is likely that many other factors are influencing the decision from all these companies to make their investment here and making the state economically significant. However, without the proper infrastructure and access to the open seas, all of this investment won't happen. These companies will not likely to stay here if not for the access between the already established Ruhrgebiet and the open seas through the port of Duisburg, Dortmund and other inland ports, as well as the Rhine, whose mouth goes through the port of Rotterdam and Amsterdam, two of the busiest ports in the world. Manufacturers and some remnants of heavier industries can get their raw materials easily through the usage of the river and the inland ports on its banks. Later, when the need to export those goods abroad arises, they can use the same process. They can reverse the direction of the flow of goods to the open seas and to the wider world. These two ports are just two shiny representations of many other inland ports situated on the banks of the Rhine, namely in Mannheim, Ludwigshafen, Mainz, Düsseldorf, Köln and some others, that surely also contribute in some ways to the amount of wealth that the Rhine has been able to give to this region. Moving a little to the south, still related to the Rhine, lies another hub city, similar but of less importance as Duisburg or Dortmund. This city does not support similar region like the Ruhr Valley, but it is still strategic and used for similar purpose for different type of commodity. Mainz, with its port, is a major transport hub for this part of the country and also southern Germany. Its approximate location to Frankfurt and Frankfurt urban area has made its port an important destination for the flow of goods between the state of Rheinland-Pfalz, Germany and the rest of the world for over 2000 years. So far there is no exact number on the number of tons per year. However, the port's website offers a perspective for its future, with the city project to develop the port scheduled to finish in 2025, taking place across 30 hectares, including 8 hectares for the basin and many other redevelopment projects of the port into housing units and offices. This decision makes perfect sense considering that the city of Mainz itself is the center of German wine economy. Mainz is just the center and the hub for the viniculture industry. The wines are cultivated in many parts of the country, which is administered in many Weinbaugebiete or viniculture regions. These regions are primarily located along the Rhine and its tributaries, and many can be found in Rheinland-Pfalz, such as in Ahr Valley, the Nahe, Pfalz in the areas of Bad Dürkheim, Neustadt an der Weinstraße and Landau. Some are spread to the other western states, such as Rheingau and Rheinhessen in Hessen and Mosel in Saarland. These wines are often produced around rivers sheltered by mountains. The more productive sites are those in steep valleys, since they can absorb the most sunlight and retain it overnight. Although the German wine country is not the most productive and the most industrialized compared to other wine-producing regions of the world, the demand for the wine from these areas is still there, from the local as well as international markets. It should be also noted that this practice of wine production in these regions dates back to the ancient Roman times. In conclusion, the Rhine is significant to the western states. The big cities, the Ruhr Valley, and similar industrial regions need access to the open seas, an access that the Rhine can provide. Moreover, the cities in these states are some of the most already established cities in the country, due to their continuous relationship with the Rhine. Fortunately, people that govern this part of the country acknowledge this blessing and build and operate strategic infrastructure to keep this geographical feature as an advantage to the local economy. Since Germany is mostly known for its beer instead of its wine, the wine country is also a surprising feature that some of the western states have, with many dedicated wine cultivation areas spread across the states. I've been your host, and this video is the very first video of this channel. This is a one-man production and there will be a new video every 2 weeks. I am making this economic geography of a region as a series, but I am starting first with Germany. For the next week, I'll be covering the northern states of Germany. I hope you will stay in touch. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to see more. Remember, anything in the video is always up for a debate. After all, they are mere opinions. Have a great day.